8:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news, edited by Danushka Madhabala and read by Indrani Senanayaka. The headlines. The government has announced an Aswasama week. The government says all suggestions received regarding the budget this year will be taken into consideration. The Nara Institute says that they are conducting research activities with the Chinese research vessel Shiyan-6. The government to draft code of conduct for MPs. A delegation of the World Bank inspects the climate-smart irrigated agriculture project. In foreign news, Israel offensive presses deeper into Gaza as tanks seen on Key Road. In sports, veteran Sri Lankan cheerleader Percy Abesekara has passed away. The government has announced an Aswasama week from the 6th to the 11th of next month to solve the problems related to the Aswasama program. State Minister Shehan Semasinghe says that the aim of this program is to solve all technical and other related matters and provide benefits for the needy families. The State Minister made these remarks at a press briefing held at the Presidential Media Centre today. State Minister of Finance Ranjit Siamalapitiya says that all suggestions received regarding the budget this year will be taken into consideration. The aim of this year's budget proposal is to lead the country towards a stable economy. The government has focused more attention to reduce state expenditure and increase the revenue. The minister made these remarks at an event held at the Hiovita area. The Nara Institute says that they are conducting research activities with the Chinese research vessel Shiyan-6. The research activities are being conducted in the sea area near Bentara. The temperature of the sea water, behavior of water currents in the areas and other related research activities are being conducted at present. 4 officials from the Nara Institute and 2 Navy officials have participated in these research activities. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. We continue with local news. The government has approved a proposal to draft a code of conduct for parliamentarians and to establish an independent body for supervision. The code of conduct will be drafted based on the views of the Speaker of Parliament and all party leaders. A delegation of the World Bank engaged in an observatory tour to look into the climate-smart irrigated agriculture project, which aims to improve the productivity and climate resilience of smallholder agricultures in Sri Lanka. They visited the climate-smart irrigated agriculture training school in Anuradhapura yesterday in order to observe the progress of the project. The delegation, headed by the Managing Director of Operations of the World Bank, arrived in the island on a request made by the President at a meeting with the Chairman of the World Bank. Veteran Sri Lankan cheer squad leader Percy Abesekara, fondly known as Uncle Percy by cricket fans across the world, has passed away. Sri Lanka's famous cheer leader celebrated his 87th birthday in August this year, but has reportedly been unwell in the recent past. Uncle Percy was known to be one of the longest-standing supporters of the Sri Lankan cricket team. He unfurled the Sri Lankan flag in support of his beloved team since the 1979 World Cup. That ends the local segment of news.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
The Department of Irrigation has issued an amber-level minor flood warning for some of the low-lying areas of the Dedara Oya Valley. The flood warning message, valid until 9:30 am tomorrow, states that a considerable rainfall has occurred in some of upstream, middle reach and downstream catchment areas of Dedara Oya Basin as of 6 am today. In addition to that, the Dedara Oya Reservoir, which is maintained by the Irrigation Department, is spilling with a discharge rate of 14,000 cubic feet per second currently. The department mentioned, adding that there is a possibility of increasing the spill discharge of the reservoir. By analyzing this situation and river water levels of hydrological stations in Dadro-Oya, there is a possibility of a minor flood situation occurring in low-lying areas of the Dadro-Oya Valley.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Vedamahatmya.
We now take a look at Watchlight. The Sri Lanka Railways reported that around 12 train journeys have been cancelled so far during the course of the day. The Railway Department said the cancelled train journeys include those that were scheduled for this morning and afternoon. The department further said the cancellation was due to railway guards not reporting to work today. The Railway Department added that several office trains which are scheduled for this evening will be cancelled due to the shortage of railway guards. And we now look at world news. First, the headlines. Israel offensive presses deeper into Gaza as tank seen on Key Road. India police investigate deadly blasts targeting Jehovah's Witnesses. Pentagon to develop nuclear bomb 24 times more powerful than one dropped on Hiroshima. Israeli armoured vehicles have been seen on the main road running from north to south of the Gaza Strip, close to Gaza City. The Israeli military has said they will not comment on the location of their forces, but it comes as Israel expands its ground offensive in Gaza, with a military spokesman saying troops killed dozens of terrorists during clashes overnight. Meanwhile, hundreds and hundreds of patients are stuck in hospitals in the north of Gaza, the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees says. Doctors say Israel told staff to evacuate Al-Quds hospital in Gaza City yesterday, but that moving patients, many of whom are in intensive care, is impossible. Israel has been bombing Gaza since the 7th of this month. Hamas attacks that killed 1,400 people and saw at least 230 people kidnapped as hostages. The Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza says more than 8,000 people have been killed since Israel's retaliatory bombing began. Police in India are investigating a series of explosions which killed 3 people at a Jehovah's Witnesses meeting in the southern state of Kerala. More than 50 others were injured in the blast on Sunday at an event held by the Christian-based religious movement near the port city of Kochi. A man was detained after he posted a video claiming responsibility for the attacks and surrendered to the police. Police said they are still trying to verify his confession. The incident took place during a prayer session organized by Jehovah's Witnesses in a town about 6 miles north of Kochi. More than 2,000 people were attending the 3-day event. The U.S. Defense Department has announced that it will develop a new version of B-61 nuclear bomb with 24 times the destructive power of the one dropped on Hiroshima at the end of World War II. The Pentagon revealed that it would seek congressional approval and funding for the development of the weapon in a press release on Friday. According to a fact sheet accompanying the announcement, the bomb, dubbed the B-61-13, has a maximum yield of 360 kilotons, making it 24 times more powerful than Little Boy, the 15-kiloton bomb that leveled Hiroshima. The B-61-7 is not the most powerful nuclear weapon in the U.S. arsenal. That title goes to B-83, a thermonuclear gravity bomb with a yield of 1.2 megatons of TNT. To end this bulletin of world news, the headlines again. Israel offensive presses deeper into Gaza as tank seen on Key Road. India police investigate deadly blast targeting Jehovah's Witnesses. Pentagon to develop nuclear bomb 24 times more powerful than the one dropped on Hiroshima. That ends this bulletin of world news.
Development news.
Sri Lankan Airlines has reaffirmed its commitment to Pakistan by launching a 4-weekly flight between Colombo and Lahore effective the 31st of October 2023, connecting the two cities every Sunday, Monday, Tuesday and Thursday with a new addition. Sri Lankan Airlines also operates 4 times a week to Karachi and is the only foreign airline in the Indian subcontinent to cover Pakistan's 2 biggest cities in its network and offer direct services between Pakistan and Sri Lanka.
Sports News is brought to you by Shakti. Refresh your mind and body with Shakti Energy Drink. 350 rupees only. Available at island-wide leading groceries and supermarkets. Shakti. Taste the power.
We now take a look at sports news. The ICC World Cup cricket match between Sri Lanka and Afghanistan is currently underway in Pune. The Afghanistan team won the toss and invited Sri Lanka to bat first. Sri Lanka were all out for 241 runs at the end of 49.3 overs. In reply, Afghanistan scored 153 runs for the loss of 3 wickets at the end of 30 overs just a short while ago.
Shakti. Refresh your mind and body with Shakti Energy Drink. 350 rupees only. Available at island-wide leading groceries and supermarkets. Shakti. Taste the power.
Go ekakthiyana youth ekata life eke change ekata niyameta set wenna as wahagena dagapu hina habe karanna youth ekata niyameta set wenna friendship eka menna.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The White House has announced what it is calling the most significant actions ever taken by any government to advance the field of AI safety. An executive order from President Biden requires artificial intelligence developers to share safety results with the U.S. government. It places the U.S. at the center of the global debate on AI governance. However, this is a position the UK government hoped a summit it is hosting this week would allow it to hold. The 2-day meeting begins on the 1st of November at Bletchley Park. It has been prompted by concerns that the rapid advance of AI systems could lead to problems such as the development of more deadly bioweapons and more paralyzing cyber attacks.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekakthiyana youth ekata life eke change ekata niyameta set wenna as wahagena dagapu hina habe karanna youth ekata niyameta set wenna friendship eka menna.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
And we now take a look at economic news. JP Morgan has sharply lowered its fourth quarter economic forecast for Israel. According to a research note made public on Friday, the country's gross domestic product may shrink 11% from the previous 3 months amid the escalation of hostilities with the Palestinian armed group Hamas. Earlier this month, the bank forecast a 1.5 downturn, but the initial projections were deemed too optimistic, analysts suggested. That was economic news.
Weather report.
And finally, we take a look at the weather report. Showers or thundershowers will occur at several places in the most provinces of the island after 2 p.m. Showers or thundershowers will occur in the eastern province during the morning hours. Fairly heavy showers of about 75 millimeters are likely at some places in the western, Sabaragamu, central, southern and Uva provinces and in the Kurunegala district. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the Sabaragamu, central and Uva provinces during the morning. To end tonight's news broadcast, we take a look at the headlines again. The government has announced an Aswesuma week. The government says all suggestions received regarding the budget this year will be taken into consideration. Nara Institute says that they are conducting research activities with the Chinese research vessel Shiyan 6. The government to draft code of conduct for MPs. A delegation of the World Bank inspects the climate smart irrigated agriculture project. In foreign news, Israel offensive presses deeper into Gaza as tank seen on Key Road. In sports news, veteran Sri Lankan cheer squad leader Percy Abesekara has passed away. That ends tonight's news broadcast. The time reads exactly 9 o'clock. This is Radio Sri Lanka.